A small coastal neighbor with a history of defiance and one very important question. Hello, I am Samia Mohammed and this is Analytica Today. And today, we're unpacking a rising tension that could shake the entire region. Ethiopia's prime minister says his country has no intention of going to war with Eritrea, but that hasn't stopped Eritrea from mobilizing troops. So what's driving Ethiopia's renewed call for sea access? Why is Eritrea reacting so aggressively? And is it really taboo for Ethiopia to want access to the sea for its 120 million plus citizens? Let's break this down. To understand where this is going, we need to understand where it started. Ethiopia wasn't always landlocked. In fact, for thousands of years, it was Red Sea power. Back in the Aksumite Empire around the 1st century AD, Ethiopia traded through the port of Adulis, dealing gold, ivory, and frankincense with Rome, Persia, and India. Even as dynasties rose and fell, Ethiopia maintained coastal control well into the 19th century, holding ports like Massawa and Assab until Italian colonization carved out Eritrea in 1890. Fast forward to 1952, the UN federates Eritrea with Ethiopia. Those ports still Ethiopian. But by 1993, after a brutal 30-year war, Eritrea breaks away and Ethiopia becomes landlocked for the first time in its history. It wasn't nature, it was politics, and that loss, Ethiopia still paying the price. Right now, tensions are simmering again. Reports from February 2025 say Eritrea has called up nationwide conscription. Ethiopia has troops near the border and everyone's watching nervously. The trigger, Ethiopia's renewed push for sea access. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has called this matter of survival for a country of 120 million. Almost 90% of Ethiopia's trade funnels through Djibouti's ports, a single narrow corridor that costs the country billions each year. But Eritrea is not open to negotiations. In October 2024, Eritrea joined Egypt and Somalia in a security pact many saw as a move to contain Ethiopia. And Eritrea's influence doesn't stop here. For decades, it's been accused of arming militants, fueling internal instability, and backing rebel groups across Ethiopia, from the Oromo Liberation Army in the 1990s to Amhara militants like Fano today. Most recently, it played a brutal role in Ethiopia's Tigray war, committing atrocities and war crimes that are still source of tension. Even now, Eritrean-backed factions are reportedly stirring unrest in northern Ethiopia, threatening fragile peace deals. So when Ethiopia talks dialogue and Eritrea answers with tongues, it's not just about ports. It's about the need for a weak and destabilized Ethiopia. Here's the thing. Wanting access to the sea isn't taboo. It's strategic and historical. Across the world, landlocked nations have shared port access. Kazakhstan uses the Caspian Sea. Rwanda moves goods through Tanzania and Kenya. So why can't Ethiopia, with its vast economy and population, negotiate a shared deal? This is about more than trade. It's about energy exports, food imports, security, and sovereignty. Ethiopia isn't asking for a handout, it's offering cooperation. But Eritrea leadership under President Isaias Afwerki isn't listening. His regime thrives on isolation and militarization. It's kept Eritrea in permanent war since 1998. And that posture is dragging the entire Horn into a dangerous spiral. The risk is here's deal. A single border clash, one skirmish, could ignite a war involving Ethiopia, Eritrea, maybe even Sudan or Egypt. Trade routes in the Red Sea could be disrupted, lives millions of them could be upended. Ethiopia's military is already on the edge, Eritrea's economy is fragile and held together by conscription and sanctions. A war now, it would be lose-lose. But there is another path. Imagine joint ports in Assab, shared infrastructure, mutual trade benefits, regional integration. It's impossible. Abiy Ahmed's speech to parliament made that clear. We plan not to fight, but to work together and grow together. That's the vision. That's the opportunity. But will Eritrea take the offer? So where did this all go? Can peace prevail over paranoia? Can two countries with shared history and blood ties stop repeating the cycle of mistrust? Ethiopia's push for sea access isn't provocation. It's a return to historical logic. But logic alone won't win if guns start speaking. This story isn't just about borders. It's about whether the Horn of Africa chooses dialogue or destruction, cooperation or collapse. That's the choice before us. If this kind of deep dive helps you understand our stakes in our region, hit subscribe, drop a comment, and share your thoughts. Let's keep the conversation going because in stories like this, silence isn't neutral.